Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're running the Stuiben Trail 25k. Let's go. And off we went into this 26-kilometer adventure. The start was fast and furious. Everybody was trying to get to the foot of the mountain first. The first kilometer was a minor incline through the small village of Umhausen out into the fields. The views of the surrounding mountains were absolutely spectacular and only a hint of what lied ahead. We made our way out of Umhausen through the fields and up into the forest for the first climb. While we're at it, let's take a quick look at the elevation chart. The first 8k are pretty much a steady climb, bringing us up to 2,500 meters. From here we have a little plateau for about 4k of racing at altitude. And then we hit a pretty steep descent and then a steady descent with some small hills and kickers on the way back. 1 mile in, we're basically on the way to hit the bottom of the waterfalls. So far, hit the first little incline. Nothing compared to what's about to happen. As you can see, this is pretty much the bottom of the waterfall. We're gonna make our way along. So we're right here. Looks like we're gonna be climbing for the first 10k, but then we'll reach the highest point on this course, and then we're gonna have pretty much a long downhill stretch on the way back. As we continue to make our way up the river, the trail suddenly opens up and gives you an unbelievable view of the Stuiben waterfall. It's the highest waterfall in Tyrol, plunging a total of 159 meters, 522 feet in 2 stages. It's a dramatic and powerful natural spectacle, especially in the spring and early summer when the snowmelt feeds the stream. You can experience the waterfall up close via a family-friendly hiking trail with 700 metal steps, viewing platforms, and a suspension bridge, and even a Via Ferrata. Needless to say though, when you're in a race and your heart rate is at 190 beats per minute, it makes it a little harder to fully enjoy the views. 2 miles in, you can already see the stairs we're about to hit. That looks insane. There's this bridge right here, and then in the mountain, like along the cliffside right there. Not gonna lie, this bridge is definitely more wobbly than I thought it would be. Like, you can kind of see it shake. That's insane. Two miles in, we're right next to the waterfall and off the wobbly part of the bridge. So far we got just over 28 minutes and just over 1,000 feet of elevation. .2 miles in, still at a crisp 185 heart rate, so definitely way too high. But at least the packs kind of, like everybody has kind of found their pace, so there's not that much passing going on anymore, which is nice, but it's pretty narrow here anyways. Oh, we got a short runnable segment. Whoa, insane. Gotta remind myself to eat and drink. Definitely don't want to be behind on that in the long run. And here we have the finish line of the 4k sprint distance. 2.7 miles in, you hit this beautiful meadow along the river here. And you had the mountains in the distance. Look insane, and they're just a hint of what's to come. Yeah, that looks pretty steep. We're gonna go right up here. Insane segment. Yeah, that little segment with the rope is definitely insane. I'm not quite sure how much I actually caught on camera, to be honest. It kind of gets you after going uphill for like 3 miles and then heart rate already being at like 185. Definitely gets you. But we're back to running. After recovering for a second on this flat segment, we hit the really steep part of this trail. And when I say really steep, I mean really steep. The pace went way down. Luckily, I was able to find a group that had about the same pace as me. So we just went slow and steady up the trail on the side of this mountain. The views were absolutely spectacular and the trails were great, although I had a hard time enjoying it in the moment. As I mentioned before, my heart rate was at a steady 185 and we still had a ton of climbing to come.
miles in. The last mile was insanely steep, so I haven't been able to talk or breathe really. But it's a little flatter on this segment, but it's definitely gonna get steeper again in a little bit. We should be climbing until about the 10K mark, and then we got the downhill coming up. "3,000 feet of climbing in, about 4.2 miles in. Just look at that view. Absolutely amazing. Can't get much better than that. Yeah, 1 hour and 14 minutes in. First time my heart rate dropped to 170, which is still super high, but I'm sure it's gonna get back up there in a second. I can already see the next climb coming up right there. Yeah, we're also following a pink ribbon, or like the signs that you saw down there. Insane climb coming up. First snow. 4,500 feet of elevation in. 1 hour, 21 minutes. About 4.5 miles. And yeah, the snow is definitely getting more and more. But once we reach the top, it's gonna be super snowy, honestly.
As we continue to make our way up, the snow starts to become more and more. As you can hear, I'm clearly out of breath and the air is only getting thinner. Slowly, we're making our way out of the tree line, and finally, we're making our final push up to the cross that marks the top of the mountain and the start of the ridgeline.
1 hour, 28 minutes in, 3,800 feet of elevation, 4.7 miles. And yeah, I mean, the views don't really get better than this. Absolutely beautiful trails. Slowly making our way up, probably about 1.5 miles left until we reach the top. .7 miles in. You can already see the cross for the top in the distance. About 5 miles in, we reach the top right here, and we're gonna continue along this ridgeline over here.
Once we made it to the top, there was a paragliding duo taking off, which is kind of insane to see. Also, the fresh snow definitely made the trails pretty technical. The race organization shot some absolutely insane drone footage as we made our way along the ridgeline.
The trail is super mushy here with the fresh snow. Yeah, this ridgeline is absolutely insane. We're gonna make our way up here. Super fun. But yeah, you definitely gotta be careful since it's so snowy and pretty technical, honestly. Small note to myself, next time I gotta bring sunglasses because the snow, the reflection of the sun in the snow definitely makes you kind of blind. I know there's a thing, snow blindness or whatever it's called. I mean, obviously we're not talking about that here, but it's definitely blinding me a little bit. Yeah, as we hit the next uphill segment, we're 5.6 miles in. 1 hour, 50 minutes with about 4,500 feet of elevation.
As we reach the top of this ridgeline, we take a slight right, routing us to the right side of the next big mountain. Here the trail becomes absolutely insane. It was slightly tilted, and with the mud and snow on top of it, it was super slippery. On your right, you had a crazy drop. It doesn't seem like it on camera, but it definitely was a little scary because any kind of fall will put you in great danger.
Definitely an insane drop right here. Rather take it slow, not fall down this cliff, but we'll see. 6.2 miles in. We're about to hit the downhill right here, as you can see. The last segment was crazy. It was so slippery and slick and everything. It's kind of scary, honestly, especially with the drop on the right here. But yeah, just taking it slow. Yeah, it's kind of insane how slippery it is, as you can see. So I'm just taking it slow until we make it to an elevation level where it's not as slick. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say, but I thought the uphill was the bad part, but the downhill is even worse. It's so slippery, like you can't go fast at all. And somebody back there just dislocated their shoulder too on a fall because it was so slick and slippery. So yeah, kind of insane. Luckily, there was like a mountain rescue guy over there ready to go. That was kind of lucky, but I hope that as we get lower in elevation, the trails will get more solid again. I don't know if I mentioned it, but back there at the top, we were at around 2,500 meters of elevation. Pretty high up there, honestly, but it felt pretty good. I mean, honestly, that's why there's still snow everywhere. I definitely face planted one time, or not face planted, but landed on my butt one time up there. It was kind of scary because, I mean, honestly, I just went down as soon as I felt my feet slide to have as many points of contact as possible. Because, I mean, I don't want to slide down the mountain. That wouldn't be fun. But yeah, we're making our way back down. 6.7 miles in. At least my heart rate is at a crisp 125 now, and the trails are getting more solid again, so that's fun, other than here. 7.2 miles in. I'm glad these trails are runnable again. As we drop down in elevation, the trails weren't as wet anymore because there isn't as much snow. Able to get some trail running in. Okay, like right here, it's so insanely steep. I don't know if you can tell. Probably doesn't show you on the camera, but just look at that. Just not very runnable for me, at least. And I also don't get injured, to be honest. See, now this is what I'm talking about. I can run these trails, but yeah, the downhill was crazy. We're gonna make our way along this mountain right here on this road. Oh yeah, and we're 8 miles in right now. 9 miles in, we had a nice little downhill stretch. 9:41 pace, I think, for that mile. So super chill, heart rate stabilized at around 165, which is okay, I would say. And yeah, now we got a little incline here. Shouldn't be too much of a hill, to be honest. And then continue our downhill. Ten miles in, we just hit 5,000 feet of elevation. And yeah, I'm definitely feeling it. Need some water at the next aid station, and we should be good to continue. Just left the aid station, got some apples. We are exactly 10 miles in, pretty much. About 5K, a little less, to the next aid station. We should make it over this hill, and then we should have most of the elevation gain done. Hitting another downhill segment, and it's snowing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but it's definitely snowing a little bit. Yeah, this segment is basically in this river runoff here, so taking it really slow. My feet are definitely already completely drenched. "11 miles in, still on the downhill segment. The view is about to open up, so that should be pretty cool. What a view. So beautiful. 11.7 miles in, we just hit this little uphill segment. This right here is where we had that little rope segment earlier at around mile 3. Now we're just going straight through here, right along the mountain right there. 12 miles in, we're on this paved road right here. Still, the view's absolutely insane. We're gonna make our way into the valley, back down. We're on the last little kicker up, and after this, it should be all downhill. Mile 13.6. I'm hitting these downhills as hard as I can because I'm still feeling fresh, and it's not very technical, so that's kind of nice. I can just go all out, spread it out on the way down. Mile 14. We're on this more technical downhill segments. A lot of stone routes, 2 miles-ish to the finish, so excited for that. 15 miles in, we're almost back down to the valley. Nearing the end, cute little bridge, definitely ready to be done. The last 1,000 meters into the village right here. I'm kind of sprinting all out right now, so we'll see how that goes. Just finished the race, 4 hours, 25 minutes. I'll put the stats up here. The trails were absolutely crazy, like so much fun, but also kind of slippery and muddy and just crazy overall. Super fun race.